Hey guys, it's your boy Ichigami here. Today we're talking My Hero Academia, my favorite new anime series that I started watching a few weeks ago, and it's one of the best ones I've seen in quite a while. But we're talking My Hero Academia, more importantly Naruto and My Hero Academia. Now, I've been talking to a few friends and I've been wondering to myself, could Team 7, I'm talking original Team 7 from the Chunin exams, not these meteorite throwing, moon slicing, Naruto the last movie, Sage of Six Paths, chakra having Naruto characters. I'm talking about back in the good old Naruto days when they were throwing kunais at each other, and the biggest worry we had was Zabuza. Could these guys from the Chunin exams actually win the My Hero Academia Sporting Festival? And I don't know if they can, so I decided to run this little scenario. So let's take Team 7, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke, and put them in the My Hero Academia Sports Festival and see how they do. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the obstacle race. Now this to me is a shoo-in for Team Naruto, Team 7. It's a basic race, and I feel like Sasuke is obviously the fastest one here. So let's say they're transported to the My Hero Academia Sports Festival and the tournament starts and the races are off. I feel like the same thing that happened in the show is going to happen. Todoroki's going to pretty much freeze everyone in place and then take off in the lead. And Sasuke knows fire style, so Sasuke's going to melt his way through. Bakugo's going to make it out. And I feel like this is the difference between My Hero Academia the way it was and adding Team 7. It's going to be a three-way race between Sasuke, Todoroki, and Bakugo as they make it past the robots and make it past that first battlefield to the tight ropes. Now, Naruto and Sakura may have some issues and they're going to stay behind the masses because at this point in the series, Sakura's a scrub. I mean, she's always going to be a scrub throughout the series. We find out the hard way. But at this point, she's a terrible scrub. Naruto, while not scrubby, isn't powerful either. So I don't think he can break the ice. So he's still going to be stuck behind with everybody else. But Sasuke, Todoroki, and Bakugo are in the races. They're off. And everyone can just catch up later. We'll focus on these three now. Now, where it gets really interesting is when they get to the tightrope portion. So during that portion, Sasuke's gonna excel because we know that in Naruto they can walk on water, they can run up trees. As long as they put some chakra on their feet, they have no issues with falling down. So Sasuke's gonna run across the tightrope full speed ahead with chakra on his feet, nothing holding him back. And when the masses come, and Sasuke's gonna take a small lead ahead of Bakugo and Todoroki until they catch up later on. But what really makes this part of the obstacle race that much better for Team 7 is when the masses come, when Naruto and Sakura and the rest of the people come, and we have a bunch of people from My Hero Academia who are pretty much scrubs. Let's not get it mistaken, there's a lot of scrubs in My Hero Academia, and they're going to be walking the tightrope, they're going to be antsy, scared to cross, but we have Naruto and Sakura who have chakra control, and like I said, can walk on water and run on trees, so they're going to run across the tightrope, putting them ahead of most of the My Hero Academia kids, but not too far ahead that they can catch up to Bakugo, Sasuke, and Todoroki. And this is where things really get interesting, when they get past the tightrope and they make it to the minefield. Now this part, it doesn't matter chakra control, it doesn't matter how good the Naruto characters are, they're kind of stuck and they have to navigate around the minefield or they're going to get caught in the explosions just like everybody else. So everyone's going to be doing their thing, and I feel like because they have to slow down not to set off any mine explosions, and Sasuke has to slow down, so Bakugo and Todoroki are going to catch up to him. But like I said, everyone has to slow down, so everyone's moving at a snail's pace during this arc, and this is where things really get fun because we know how that whole thing ended up with the minefield because of Deku. So I feel like the situation would be the exact same. Deku's going to do his little shenanigans, he's going to cause his explosion and jump ahead of everybody, catch up to Bakugo, Sasuke, and Todoroki, and then when he realizes he's going to fall face forward into the explosions, he's going to try to pull that same stunt he did where he bounced off Todoroki and Bakugo to get the lead. But here's the kicker, Sasuke has his Sharingan. So while Sasuke's Sharingan can't tell him where exactly the minefield is, he can see what Deku's going to do, and he's going to avoid Deku, and Deku's not going to be able to kick off Sasuke and take the lead. So by him avoiding Deku and Deku pushing down Bakugo and Todoroki, it now becomes a race between Sasuke and Deku. And let's be real here, Deku is good, I love Deku, he's my favorite character on My Hero Academia, but he's not faster than Sasuke. So Sasuke's going to cross the finish line number 1 and get all the points. So I have the obstacle race finishing Sasuke number 1, Deku number 2, Bakugo number 4, and Todoroki number 3, just like it finished in the show. And then the rest of them are really irrelevant, but Naruto and Sakura still make it past because I feel like there's, like I said, a lot of scrubs in My Hero Academia, and if they can pass and survive the obstacle course, Naruto and Sakura with better chakra control and better energy and better endurance, because let's not get it twisted, while My Hero Academia is one of my favorite new animes, the kids, even though they're still young in Naruto and they're still Genins at this point, they have massive stamina. Remember, they were traveling across Konoha on foot and doing all sorts of shenanigans in their forest. So their stamina's up there, their chakra control's up there, so they have the endurance to survive this My Hero Academia. I mean, if this guy can pass the obstacle course, there's no way Naruto and Sakura can't pass it. So let's just say all of Team 7 pass and they get to the human cavalry battle. Now, it's pretty much going to end up Team 7 and one extra person in their cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and say Hatsume joins them as well, because she only joined Deku's team because he had the most points. So she's going to join them and give them a fourth member. Now, this is where things get a little different from the way it played out in My Hero Academia, because everyone was gunning for Deku, and Deku really didn't have a sound strategy. He had a strategy, but he didn't have a sound enough strategy to keep everyone off his tail. But with Team 7, the strategy is easy. Naruto's going to spam shadow clones, make a bunch of cavalry teams, use the cloning technique, and have them all look like Team 7's team, and no one can know who the real one is, so no one can get the points off their forehead. So no matter how hard the My Hero Academia kids try, they don't know who's the real Naruto, who's the fake Naruto, who's the fake Team 7, because there's a bunch of shadow clones using the transformation jutsu looking like Team 7, so you don't know who's the real Team 7 and who's not. And by the time the time limit runs out, they're not going to figure out who has the points, and Team 7 advances to the finals. Now, the finals is where things get really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and say Team 7 advances, Todoroki's team advances, Bakugo's team advances, and Deku's team advances, and some other stragglers. So now when we get to the tournament phase, I want to keep the brackets pretty much similar. So I'm going to go ahead and remove a couple of scrubs that have no business being in this tournament. And I think I'm removing Shiozaki. I'm going to remove Ayama. And then I'm gonna go ahead and remove Tetsu just because like he played no real part in the tournament. So now I remove those three and just put Team 7 in their place. How will the tournament bracket play out? This is the most interesting part, and this is the most fun part, where Team 7 actually now has to fight the My Hero kids. So let's go ahead and play out the brackets. We're pretty much leaving the brackets the same way they are, but replacing characters with Team 7 characters. Let's go through the matches. Deku versus Shinsu pretty much finished the same way. Todoroki versus Seru pretty much finished the same way. Now with Shiozaki and Kaminari, I'm gonna go ahead and remove Shiozaki. I'm gonna add Naruto in her place. Naruto versus Kaminari. Kaminari has his electrical discharge. Naruto has his shadow clones. It's a wash for Naruto. It's not even a challenge. Naruto wins this pretty easily. Ida versus Hatsume. Hatsume does the same thing and she scoops and Ida moves on. Next we have Ashido versus Ayama. Ashido versus Ayama. Who am I going to put in Ashido's place? I'll put Sakura here. I can put Sakura here because this would be more interesting with Sakura. Sakura versus Ashido, two girls. How does it play out? This is interesting because if we watch the Chunin exam and we remember Sakura's fight with the Sound Ninja, she's not all that great in comparison to Naruto, Sasuke, or anybody else in the show at that point. But like I said, My Hero has a lot of kids who aren't on her level. So this fight gets interesting. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Sakura. But I don't think Ashido knows how to fight. And I feel like Sakura knows basic taijutsu enough to beat her down at that point. And with chakra control and any shenanigans that she tries to do, like cloning and things of that nature, Ashido really has no answer for that. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Sakura. Next one's Tokoyami versus Yao Yaozu. And I'm going to give it to Tokoyama just like in the show. It's pretty much evident. Now we have Tetsu versus Kirishima, and Tetsu's been replaced by Sasuke. This fight's pretty interesting because Sasuke does have the Chidori at this point, because I'm using that version of Sasuke. I'm using the Chunin exam version. I'm not going to use the beginning where they were scrubs. I'm going to use when they actually have something. But the Chidori might not be a factor here, because remember at this point in the series, Sasuke had to go to the start of the stadium, run down, pick up momentum, and then use the Chidori. And in My Hero Academia, if you step outside the ring, you're eliminated. So Sasuke doesn't have enough momentum to Chidori, because I feel like with the Chidori, he would have just one-shotted him. But without the Chidori, it makes it a fight, especially with his hardening skills. But again, Sasuke has Taijutsu, Sasuke has Fireball, Sasuke has better techniques, and Sasuke has Sharingan. So Kirishima will put up a fight, but in the end, Sasuke's going to make quick work of him, light difficulty at best. And then we have Bakugo versus Uraraka. We know how that ended up. It's pretty much going to end up the same way. And then we go back. Deku versus Todoroki pretty much finishes the same way. I'm not going to try and change that. Lida versus Naruto. Lida has no hope of winning whatsoever. Like, he's way over his league. It's ridiculous. Like, he has his speed, but then what? Naruto's going to drag him as if it was nothing. So Naruto pretty much makes quick work of him. Next fight is Tokoyama versus Sakura. Sakura has no outs for Dark Shadow, and it's pretty much a wash in Tokoyama's favor because of Dark Shadow. Next fight. Ooh, this one's a good one. Bakugo versus Sasuke. Now, this fight actually gave me a lot of pause. I actually had to think about this fight a lot, because at this point in the series, like I said, Sasuke is not a scrub. but Bakugo is no scrub. Bakugo is arguably one of the top 10, if not top 5. Am I on top 5? Not top 5 yet, but top 10 badass characters in My Hero Academia. Most skilled. Bakugo is the most skilled in his class. Bakugo has the most destructive capability of everyone in his class. And Bakugo is a casual building buster at this point, as we can see during his sparring with Deku. Bakugo's energies is enough to destroy buildings. His explosions are all powerful, and Sasuke doesn't have the Chidori at his disposal. Granted, he does have the Sharingan that gives him a slight edge in reaction speed, but when you go down to it, Sasuke really doesn't have any way to put Bakugo down. Without the Chidori, he's limited to fire style jutsus. He can't use weapons because of the tournament rules, so he's stuck to taijutsu hand-to-hand combat at this point in the series, and Bakugo excels at that. Who's more skilled? I don't know, but Bakugo's powers work in his favor, because if we know how Bakugo works, his explosions come from his sweat, his explosions come from his pores. So if you go into close quarters combat with Bakugo, you will lose, because Bakugo's explosions can level buildings. So this fight can go not really either way, because I feel like Sasuke's at a disadvantage with the lack of Chidori, lack of weapons, hand-to-hand combat. His fire style is really good, but they're not stronger than Bakugo's explosions, and Bakugo can use his explosions to pretty much bury himself from Sasuke's fireballs, because we know Bakugo's explosions can't hurt him. And if Sasuke comes too close, Bakugo can just explode him with enough power. I'm gonna give this fight to Bakugo. Now, before you guys flood my comments with Sasuke love, remember, this is not the Sasuke you think that's dropping meteors or anything. This is Chuden Exam Sasuke, the one that needed to run up a side of the arena just to get enough momentum to Chidori somebody. The same Sasuke that barely beat the Sound Ninja in the forest. The same Sasuke that had to go all out to beat a crappy Sound Ninja in the prelims of the Chunin exams. And while he is fast, we know Bakugo's reaction speed is super fast as well. I'm not going to go ahead and go into calculations and that nonsense, but he has no way to put Bakugo down, and Bakugo has more firepower, more destructive capabilities than Sasuke at this point, and just overall more raw power than Sasuke. So I'm giving it to Bakugo. Our next fight now, right? We have Todoroki versus Naruto. This is another fight that I had to think about. So now it goes down to Todoroki versus Naruto. This is one I had a lot to think about too, because at this point in the series, Naruto only has Gamabunta. He has no Rasengan. He can't really do any explosive things, and Todoroki in this point in the series has enough energy, has enough ice to freeze an entire arena. Naruto doesn't have the firepower. Now again, this is not Shippuden Naruto, this is not Naruto after Rasengan. This is Naruto with Gamabunta. He can't summon Gamabunta because Gamabunta is too big for the ring. It'll push them out the ring, it'll be out of bounds. That's out there, you can't use weapons. So Naruto has shadow clones and punching, pretty much the same thing he used against Neji. And the only difference is, with Neji, he was able to get in close quarter combat, and he couldn't beat Neji. He had to go underground, uppercut Neji, cheap shot Neji, I might add. That was a cheap shot if I've ever seen a cheap shot in my life. And he doesn't have any of those at his disposal against Bakugo, and Bakugo can instantly flash freeze the thousands of shadow clones that he creates. And Bakugo, like I said, can freeze the entire arena if need be, and Naruto can't get close enough to actually make this a fight, but Todoroki's taking this fight. And with that, Naruto characters have fallen out. While the rules heavily were in the My Hero Academia side, Naruto characters did put up a better fight than most of these other characters. I feel like they lost to the top 3 strongest characters in My Hero Academia at this point. I don't mean the adults, I'm talking about the children at this point in the series. We have Tokoyami, we have Bakugo, and we have Todoroki, who are arguably the top 4 if you include Deku in there. And the funny part is, had anybody, including Sakura, fought Deku, they probably would have eliminated Deku, because Deku can't beat any of them at this point in the series, because he doesn't have the full body cowl just yet. Anyway guys, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you like this video, definitely get a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and tune in, because I'm going to take Team My Hero Academia, Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in the Chunin exam to see how far they can get. And now we're playing by Naruto's rules. Can the My Hero Academia kids adapt to that? Find out by hitting the subscribe button, guys. Until next time, peace.